Is Bitcoin about to blast past its new all-time high? That is the question we are here to answer, ladies and gentlemen, in today's episode of the live crypto trading room. Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully you're doing absolutely fantastic today. Today is March 7th, 2024. Bitcoin currently trading at $67,847 as the crow flies. And we've got a lot to talk about. Altcoins still kicking off, so we're going to cover all of that and more. Let's start off, of course, on the weekly time frame, see how much has changed. We are, of course, trading above the critical threshold level. We are trading above the weekly high of the peak of the market. Not really the peak of the market, but the peak of the kind of bullish run. We did up thrust slightly above that. But essentially, this is definitely the line in the sand. It is the high 64,000s, 65,000, you could almost say. 64,895 is where I actually have the line drawn. And above this, we are very much in beautiful bull market territory. Below this, we are more than likely looking at pullbacks. All right. So very interesting. We'll start off here on the weekly time frame and then proceed through the rest of the time frames. There's not much to talk about here on the weekly time frame. Again, our PTP trading strategy has had us in the market from the closing candle of the 16th of October with an exit of that position on the closing candle of the 8th of January, and then a re-entry back into the trend on the closing candle of the 5th of February. So this is currently the swing trade that we are in. We are recommending that individuals take 20 to 50% profits on their positions because we've reached such a precipice. And of course, we have the objective redlining of BBWP. Volatility is extremely high right now. Reversals have an exponentially higher opportunity of occurring when we are in redlined BBWP status, when we have a high volatility print, when we have a high volatility read. Let me just pull my chat over here because it's kind of like weird. Cheesy Business, good to see you, my friend. We are streaming a little bit later in the afternoon. This is a little bit better and more conducive to my personal trading because now I've had a whole morning of having my trades put in, and yeah, life's good. All right, so we are still swing long. We are recommending to hold that position, but just make sure that we are trimming weekly, that we are trimming 20 to 50% of profits because we are redlining on BBWP. We will hold this position until the relative strength index crosses back underneath the signal line, or if the true strength index were to cross back underneath the signal line, or, and this either of those are going to happen before this, but if we now close below the 21 exponential moving average, you could also be a little bit more aggressive with your strategy as well. We do have a lot of individuals that do this as well. Something like a 9-period volume weighted moving average is usually very commonly used for this, although we've also seen individuals, of course, use our SMA and EMA as well. So a closure under the 9 EMA would also kind of be that first early warning signal as well, and quite a good exit strategy as well. Like as you can see, just waiting for a close below that 9 EMA is quite good. That actually would have kept you in the entire trend. You actually never would have gotten out of the trade as we did. We kind of sidestepped in this consolidation area and de-risked and then re-entered on the confirmed breakout and indicator signal here. All right, daily time frame. This is where it gets kind of exciting here. On the daily time frame here, and let's just since we're talking about it, let's just slap that 9 EMA on the daily time frame. And just kind of like talk about that. Let's see how that would have done, right? Okay, so as we talked about, we can delete this. As I was just explaining, daily time frame, not too much is different here in this range. Let's go back to the last 2 daily trades. We have the volatility crush. We know we want to take the first trade of expansion out of that. We get that expansion on this candle on February 7th. So we go swing long. We hold that position. And then, yeah, we would have exited here. That was 2 days after the RSI told us to exit. So better exit with the RSI there. And then, of course, we re-enter on the RSI cross back up above. And the, again, expansion of volatility. We have a volatility crush here. We have the expansion here. And we re-enter swing long on this candle. And then closed 2 days ago, as we recommended, closing swing long positions here. All right. We do have redlining volatility, and we are coming back down out of that. I am overall expecting, in general, the markets to kind of move sideways for the next couple of weeks. What we have right here, though, although there is a slight parallel to this, and that is the fact that this candle right here has a very specific candle, and it is called an outside bar. All right. An outside bar is a candle that trades. Let me get some lines out here so we can see with more clarity, and maybe we'll get zoomed in a little bit. So an outside bar is a candle that trades both above the high of the previous bar and below the low, right? We will generally refer to these as Darth Maul candles, but a Darth Maul candle is just a long-legged doji in reality, where you have a very small candle body and a big wick to the upside and downside. And those are indicative of just basically market manipulation, right? Prices ran liquidity to the upside and to the downside. All right. Cheesy Business 26 Dawn Chain is a fantastic baseline. I actually still use that in one of my strategies. But for our analysis here on the channel for the daily time frame, we are just using this indicator set. Let's see here. Yeah, so as we can see, this candle, the closure candle where we closed our positions, this was an outside bar. So this traded both above and below. Now, every single time that we have had an outside bar, while Bitcoin has been above its 100 moving average, within the next 7 days, Bitcoin's price was up or down 10%. All right, 70% of the time it was up. All right, so we do have a good statistical trade here. We do have good evidence to be bullish out of this area and be looking for a 10% movement to the upside. If we did get a 10% movement to the upside from the middle of the range, let's just measure up 10%. Price would be at, I don't know why it's not letting me see that, 72,254. All right. Interestingly enough, earlier today, I did end up taking a Bitcoin swing long on the hourly time frame earlier this morning. Okay. We can just go and look for that signal basically right here. No, that was too early. We would have taken it. Yeah, right. I think it was on this candle. It's at 9 o'clock, right? So I am swing long on BTC from here, and I had posted that signal to the members of the premium trading group as well. Again, we just have volatility crush, and we have expansion out of that volatility crush. We have price above both the 21 and the 55, while it is above the 200. So all the conditions are met to go long there with this strategy. TSI had crossed over the signal line. RSI had crossed over the signal line as well. So just all beautiful trades. And we are kind of looking, this trade is banking on that breakout of this range and that movement up to 70,000. And that is very close to where my initial take profit target is. All right. Back on the daily, are there any daily signals though? Besides that, there are not, ladies and gentlemen. We actually have, again, this is the evidence for why price might move sideways for a couple of weeks. TSI is on daily close today, hinting at closing underneath the signal line. All right. And this is really, since TSI is such a strong indicator in our strategy here, we are relying on TSI to tell us in which direction to trade or when to close trade. So this under closure of TSI underneath the signal line is that strong exit signal. We do want to be exiting out of daily swing long positions, and we do want to be waiting for the indicators to reset for us to be taking another position. And that's probably going to take a while. We'll have to take a pretty risky breakout long without full indicator confirmation if we do want to grab upside, if we do end up breaking up to the upside here on the daily time frame. So I don't generally recommend that. So we will be monitoring the 4-hour and the hourly time frame to catch those positions, since the daily is in such a state of flux right now, since we're so overextended coming out of that red line. To really take a trade, we want volatility to come down, let us know the consolidation has happened. And why do we do that? Because we know that once volatility comes down, right, we can just see it right here. Volatility comes down and gets crushed in this consolidation area. And because we have that volatility crush, we know that when volatility begins expanding, when the market starts widening out, we can have good confidence that the movement that we're going to get is going to be large enough for us to profitably trade. So we can just take a position, right? If we don't have that confidence that price is going to move a good distance, then there's really no point in taking the trade, because we're not trying to scalp. Like, what are we doing? So anyways, we have that exact same situation here. We see price move from consolidation into a period of markup into another consolidation period. We have that same volatility crush right here, and that gives us the confidence to go back into the market on that volatility expansion signal, right? Because we have confidence that because we had such a period of consolidation where volatility got crushed, we have that confidence that the resulting move out of the breakout will be sufficiently large enough for us to profitably trade. Life's good. All right, life's good. We're not going to have that right now for a while. Look how long these periods of consolidation last. On average, 9 days, 9 bars, right? These periods of consolidations have lasted in this uptrend, 9 days. So what I would love to see right now is, since we've redlined, I would love to see price move sideways for another week to 2 weeks before a subsequent breakout. All right, that's what I would really like to see. The indicator models are suggesting that as well. So that is going to be our base case. Since we are in a red hot bull market, we also do want to be capturing those opportunities, grabbing that alpha. So in addition to our bots that are running, we will of course be monitoring the 4-hour time frame and the 1-hour time frame to potentially catch those positions. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame and see where price is at. Here we can see the exact same mechanic happen. We have that volatility crush. Volatility gets very low, and because volatility gets very low in this period of consolidation, we have the confidence to then swing long on the expansion. All right, that's the point. We need volatility to get crushed before we trade, so we can have confidence that the movement is going to be worth our time to trade. 4-hour TSI, as we can see here, has rolled over, so we do have a bearish 4-hour TSI. Of course, the market isn't bearish, but we have a bearish indicator set right now, so we're not going to be trading to the long side. RSI was bearish as well. RSI has recently climbed back above the signal line, but since we don't have that TSI signal to complement it, we won't be taking any 4-hour swing longs at this point in time. We also need 4-hour volatility to get crushed quite a bit more, to come down here quite a bit. So I'm not seeing any trades probably for the next 2 days on the 4-hour time frame. Hourly is obviously going to be a lot more busy, give us a lot more actionable stuff to use. Here we are entering back into volatility crush. We had volatility crush here. We had that resulting move up. Again, I kind of entered about halfway through the movement. So now we've just got a bank that the volatility crush will be nice here and give us that resulting movement to the upside. All right. So again, paying attention and periodicity is very important here. All right. Let's move on to... Let's move on to the 15-minute time frame, see if we can spot any profitable movements in day trading land. Let's see here. Yeah, volatility is getting crushed quite a bit right here. Yeah, we had nice volatility crush basically in this range. We have a double top. We have a failure to climb a more successful high. This is actually looking pretty short-term bearish. We'll have to hope that price can hold the daily point of control. As we can see here, just price after the big plunge. All right, we have this nice big plunge. All right, price returns. We are now trading basically in this high volume node. Price has a high incentive to stay within the high volume node. We have now deviated outside of the high volume node into low volume node territory right now. And now price is just wanting to return back into the low volume node. Apparently, we didn't generate sufficient momentum to actually break out just yet on this set. So let's look to see. The bulls need to see today's daily point of control ideally act as support. We are so far holding the 15-minute 200 exponential moving average, which is currently coming in at about 66,500. So that is the first kind of pullback area that I'd be looking at. I'd be looking at the daily point of control, which is coming in around 66,883. And I'd be looking at that 200 EMA coming in around 66,500. Those are the areas I'd be looking for pullback buys today. And then right now, we want to see a strong close above 67,924 for any breakout trades. All right, those are the important areas. We have now grabbed liquidity to the upside. I expect the price will come back down here and hang out in the rest of the range, probably until this evening, because we're in the kind of boring section of the market. Yeah, that's about it. Aaron Lynn, thank you very much, man. Yes, we did end up closing that trade. SUI is closed. We were able to close out SUI. We did hit the initial take profit target, but that was just, you guys have to remember that on my copy trading account, I'm trading with a handicap. I can't take partial take profits. So I am closing my trades 100% out at TP1. That is not how I would normally do it if I had my say. I would do TP1, 2, and 3 at 50, 30, 20 allocations scaling out. And so just to return to that, daily time frame. Oh no, excuse me. That was a bottom feeder signal. That was a bottom feeder signal. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. Somebody get this guy off the microphone. Bottom feeder signal on SUI SDT on the daily time frame. Beautiful. Yeah, actually, bottom feeder is much more bullish on SUI right now because you can see that we did allocate yesterday and we did already hit the take profit target for that signal. But now bottom feeder is recommending a second entry at today's open. So it fired yesterday. We should have bought at candle open and we should have rebought at candle open today. New take profit for that position is $1.6407 and the updated stop loss is $1.2252. Best of luck to you, my friends. May the odds be ever in your favor. All right, yeah, so getting a nice bearish movement from BTC right now intraday. All right, again, we had just kind of run up. We had this consolidation period inside the range. Swing up, and now we just have the bulls have to hope for the daily point of control and ideally that 200 exponential moving average to hold, which does mean since we are kind of getting that bearish movement, I do think I need to adjust my stop loss because I have that at 65,866, and I think that is in danger of getting hit. Let's see here, 65,866. Yeah, no, that's not it. No, that should be absolutely fine. That should be absolutely fine. If price comes down here, then we're quite wrong. Although, I mean, that is the bottom of the range, right? That is the bottom of the range. We're not going to make any adjustments, right? The trade's a trade. We took the strategy trade. We set our TPs and SLs exactly as we should have, and we don't need to modify anything. Either the trade is a winner or a loser, and the more we screw with it, the more likely we are to mess things up. Let's shift our attention to Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen. As I get into a slightly more comfortable situation. All right. Here on the weekly time frame for Ethereum, I mean, obviously Ethereum's performing absolutely amazing. There's not really too much to say here. Obviously, just to recap what our strategy recommended, we did have our initial entry into Ethereum on the weekly candle of November 6th. We held that position through and we closed that position. So kind of a small, we just kind of grabbed this movement, right? But we did end up closing out on the 22nd of January. And we did re-enter on this breakout on February 5th. And we are still swing long on Ethereum. We definitely want to be out at least 50% of the position. Now we're letting this run. We are redlining in volatility. So feel free to take another 30 to 20% of your 20 to 30% of your position off if you want, leaving only 30 to 20% of the position. Of course, Ethereum can continue to blast and excel, but we really need to, we're getting so close to the all-time high without having really any kind of pullback prior to March. And I just really want to be safe, for that period in time, right? If we do enter into more of a pronounced pullback, or if we kind of have a pause, right? Again, I'm just trying to be a principled trader here, right? Feels like the market's getting red hot and everybody's insanely bullish and talking about we got to hold, yeah, we can always take profit and then reposition on a pullback. Come on, guys. But of course, at the same time, I'm not doing anything with my portfolio. I'm not trying to finagle my portfolio like that. Just talking about positional trades and swing trades right now. All right, so not much needs to be done on the weekly time frame. Again, I recommend being anywhere from 50 to 80% out of your Ethereum swing long position on the weekly time frame at this point in time, and just waiting for a nice reset. All right. Ethereum on the daily as well, again, showing that same strength. Strong bullish trend. Everything's quite nice. We're not redlining in volatility on the daily time frame, although volatility is quite high. We do not have any. Actually, we do have potential regular bearish divergence forming. It's not very strong, but it is there for Ethereum. Of course, it might turn, of course, if we continue to move up, one more up candle will invalidate that regular bearish divergence because you can't even call divergence until you have a top, right? To be quite technical, to be quite literal. But TSI is still trading very strongly above the signal line. RSI Ethereum here on the daily time frame, again, just to run you through this again. Initial entry back over here on Wednesday, February 7th, and we can see we ride this up. RSI closes underneath the signal line on this candle, February 23rd, and crosses back up above on this candle. So we re-enter, and we are still and then we closed out, right? And then we closed out. All right, we closed out. Now I am personally not in this second swing long, but to be honest, it's completely valid. It's completely valid. That's totally fine. Because we did have RSI close underneath and cross back above. So that is a continuation signal. So let's just go back and look at what we would be recommending for profit targets there anyways. Yeah, so the Ethereum strategy is looking for, well, if we entered, on that entry, I wanted to stop loss at 34.12 and an initial take profit of 46.40. All right, initial take profit of 46.40. So we are about a 20% movement that the strategy wants on Ethereum to the upside. Good. Awesome to hear, Aaron. Glad to hear you getting back into trading, man. All right, Ethereum on. So that was Ethereum. We did Ethereum weekly, daily. Let's go down to the lower time frames here and see how Ethereum's popping on the 15-minute time frame here. Yeah, I mean, just fading the breakout, right? As we can see here, we traded above these highs, right? Volatility just redlined here on the 15-minute time frame. Big OI drop. Yeah, I mean, that's just pretty classic, right? Redlining volatility. Anytime volatility is redlined, it's almost always a good reversal signal, and we can just see that volatility redlining here. And we were also trading far above 2 standard deviations. You can see we also traded outside the value area of the VRVP as well. So yeah, all pretty good. That's looking probably relatively bearish for the rest of the evening, honestly. Ethereum's probably going to come down quite a bit, not going to lie. So yeah, so again, I think there is opportunity to continue the intra short, maybe another 2% movement back down to retest this point of control. Yeah, that would probably be my recommendation. But in general, right, just like chill with the shorts, like it's a bull market. So just wait for price to come back down and focus on longs is probably quite good at this point in time. Again, don't fight the trend. Don't fight the trend. Ethereum continues to show incredible strength. So we are looking at having a pullback. What was the last pullback that we had? About 3%, right? So about a 3% pullback right now would be putting us still above the daily point of control. So price is trading outside of the high volume node and a low volume node. It wants to come back into the high volume node because that's where liquidity is. So I would expect to see certainly price at least below 38.62. And I would look, I mean, ideally we would look to scoop up price somewhere between 37.63 and 37.99 or 3800. If that's not the case, if price does want to be bullish, then we'd be looking for pullbacks at 3800 to that 38.58. All right. Let's go through and do our daily scan. We do have a daily close coming up in a little under 3 hours. So let's just go see if we can find some trades, starting off with Solana. We should already be swing long on Solana, so not much to do there. Swing long on Solana. Volatility is coming down a little bit. I mean, nothing to do here. Swing long on Solana, still open. Let's see here. I really like Arbitrum here. Yeah, I really like Arbitrum here, guys. Yeah, big. I mean, this is beautiful, right? Look at this volatility crush on the daily time frame. Starting to expand back up to the upside. We get this nice crossover from TSI. And we are looking to actually break these highs right now. Yeah. So Arbitrum, I think we definitely want to be trading. Get rid of Sui. All this, all this, all this, all this. Yeah, I really like Arbitrum here. Let's actually spend a little bit of time here. Yeah, I really like Arbitrum here. Now, I'm going to swing for the final TP, which is a 70% move. Because I can't take partial profits. I just don't want to take profits initially, like automatically, at the first TP, which is 25% above price. Okay. Let's see. Our stop loss is 12.62% away. So 10x leverage is not going to cut it. We're going to have to go to 7x. Let's see here. 100 divided by 7 is 14. 100 divided by 8 is 12.5. Nope. We'd have to go with 7x leverage. 8x leverage would still get us liquidated. All right. Our stop loss is 189. Okay. And we've got to adjust leverage to 7. Thank you. All right. So we are long on Arbitrum now. And we'll move Arbitrum to our active trades list. I feel like, hold on, we need to make sure this is cleaned up. We are not long on Chainlink, just Arbitrum. What's on our watch list here? No, you can go away. We'll do something different for that. We're going to create a new list. Portfolio. And we'll update that here in a little bit because we need to be doing all that. We need to be doing all that. All right, optimism. All right, we're only looking for maybe one other trade. I don't want to be taking too many. Optimism is not ideal for an entry here. We did get the re-entry signal. Very clear about that. We got the re-entry signal all the way back over here on this doji candle. No, I'm sorry. We wouldn't. We needed the volatility expansion, which that didn't come until what? That was a huge move. Wow. Yeah. The 5th of March. Yeah. So yeah, this subsequent candle. So I'm not going to chase optimism. It's all good. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Sui does look amazing here. I am not going to lie. Sui looks really good, but we don't have a signal. We don't have a signal, unfortunately. Bottom feeder grabbed this up, good, but our trending strategy is not picking it up yet. We do have volatility crush. Unfortunately, that expansion was to the downside. So we'll just wait for our indicators to reset here on Sui. Chainlink is flat right now. We're not getting any directional signals on Chainlink. BNB is crazy. We're not going to be entering BNB because, again, we don't have vol reset. It's just too high. We're not going to chase BNB. Congratulations to those holding BNB. Let's see here. Matic. Matic looks decent. TSI never crossed underneath. We have volatility crush, a little bit of that. And we do have the signal, right? So we'll put Matic in the watch list. Matic, come on now, the watch list. Matic is definitely a contender for a potential trade. All right. ApeCoin, we have RSI crossed underneath, so we won't be trading. XRP, unfortunately, we won't be trading because of the lack of volatility crush here. Volatility is very high right now, so not ideal. Same with Aptos. Volatility is very high. Redlined right here. Cardano. Cardano is not giving us a signal in either direction, plus we're coming off of very high volatility. Dogecoin has gone absolutely ballistic. Yeah, I was way too conservative with my trade. I just caught the 20%. I didn't know Dogecoin was going to, 2x, you know what I'm saying? But hey, we got it, so life's good. We're getting to DOT. DOT's next, brother. Polkadot on the daily time frame. Polkadot on the daily time frame is pretty good. We actually got a trading signal back here on the 25th of February. Nice volatility expansion coming out of this volatility crush, right? Well, actually, we have multiple signals. Starting off here, we get the first signal on the 8th of February. We ride that up. RSI closes underneath on this bar, and then we re-enter here. We run price up. RSI is not crossed underneath, but we do have regular bearish divergence, so for that reason, we won't be entering in. Uniswap. Do we have regular bearish divergence here as well? No, we do not. Very close. Very close. Very close. Volatility redlined again. But RSI is closing underneath the signal line right now on the current bar, so we are going to pass. I'd recommend closing Uniswap. Bitcoin trash. We don't trade. I don't even know why I have that on here. RSI, or excuse me, Filecoin. No, thank you. Nothing here that looks attractive. Axie Infinity. No, we don't have the volatility crush. Volatility is very high, so we will avoid Axie Infinity. Now, Maker USDT, volatility has been coming down and down and down. We can see this volatility crush. And now a little bit of expansion. Market tried to get dumped, right? We have this Darth Maul candle. So liquidity has been grabbed on MKR. We'll definitely take the next signal on this. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty juicy, I'm not going to lie. But nothing right now. Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic, we do have regular bearish divergence. And volatility is quite high and crossing underneath right here. So for that reason, I wouldn't enter. I would actually probably be taking some profits on Ethereum Classic right now. Yearn Finance. Wow. Yeah, very interesting. We do have a little bit of regular bearish divergence right now. So for that, I'm not going to enter. Phantom, beautiful. Again, re-entry signal here. On the 26th of Feb, we could still be holding this position. Volatility is red line, so I'd recommend you to be at least 50% out of the trade and stacking profits right now on FTM. Didex, again, pretty decent. Volatility crush here. Beautiful expansion. We would have got the entry signal here on February 24th. We are redlining volatility right now, so I would be at 50% out of the trade. EOS USDT, same thing. We're out of this. Re-entry signal. The very next candle? I just missed that one, unfortunately. Sorry. E-Chain. E-Chain is neutral, flat, no signal. Sand. We got the exit signal. Oh, wait a second. What are we talking about? Mana, we could go back into. Mask, no signal. LDO, no signal. Conflux, re-entry signal the very next day. Conflux, we could still hold long. And Neo, I would be flat on as well. All right, so really, yeah, the only trade I saw there was Arbitrum. Well, Fairdesk. Will they ever enable partial take profits? So for you guys can take partial take profits. If you're trading in Fairdesk, sorry, I have the website. I don't know why I forgot to turn that off. But if you are trading inside of Fairdesk and you're using their USDT margin futures, so their regular futures, you guys can take partial take profits. But for copy traders, right? For us copy traders in the copy trade engine, we don't have that ability. And it's unfortunately, I've talked to their devs. It's probably not going to be happening anytime soon. So it doesn't impact you guys as end users. It just impacts me as a copy trader. Was the SUI bottom feeder signal posted in Discord? I don't know if we actually have bottom feeder operating on SUI as part of the strategy set. Let me see. I don't think we do. In fact, I can almost guarantee you that we don't. No, we don't. We do not have bottom feeder. So we only have bottom feeder that posts into the signal channel. We only have, I think it's 17 or 20 assets. You can see the list right here. And those have been specifically pulled and curated because they look really, really good. Or, you know, their back testing results and the live trading results are really good. We've been running, you know, we've modified that That asset list, I think, only 2 times in the past, well, since bottom feeder's been running since 2020. So, you know, we pretty much just run it on the major pairs that have been around for years and years, and it does really well. Let's see here. What about degen? I'll take a look at degen here in just a minute. And I think that minute is now. All right. Of course I'm human deck screener. What are you talking about? Jesus. Degen. Oh, that's COQ. Why when I click, you guys see this, right? I'm clicking, this clearly says degen, and all I'm getting is Kakinu. And that is not the right address. That is crazy. Anyways. It's not even on base. What? This degen is on the... This is not the degen chart. What is happening? No! Guys, what is happening right now? Is there like some is there some degen Kakinu campaign that I'm not aware of? I mean, this is insane. What happens if I click arrow? Okay, that's the right chart. That is crazy. That is so crazy. Everything is degen except for the price chart. You know what? I give up. I can't do it. Let's go to Gecko Terminal. Going Gecko. Gecko Terminal. Boop. Okay. That's weird. That one. I swear to God. Okay, we're good. Life's good, people. Nobody freak out. Nobody freak out. Oh, that's way too widescreen, man. I don't want full screen. I just want full screen. But whatever. All right, give me a sec. I've got to basically recreate everything that I did here. Oh, this is laggy. What is happening? My God. Okay. Okay, Degen, overall, pretty decent. What did we have? We had a big, basically, trend reset, price trading underneath the 200 4-hour exponential moving average. Life's good. I don't suppose we have BBWP here, do we? We do. Excellent. We have everything we need. This is how you can trade a PTP strategy on DEXs, guys. Pretty simple. And this strategy works really well. Is it going to be as good as the ones like with our custom indicators? Probably not. You know, we're just going to have so much more tools and risk management mostly coded into our tools that like our premium subscribers get. But there's nothing wrong with these. Like, you know, I'm trading with these. The trick to making money with a strategy is following the strategy, right? And most people will just not follow a strategy, right? It doesn't matter like how much you tell them like, hey, just do this, right? Just only do this. Like they just won't do it, right? They can't help themselves. They'll, you know, they'll see something and then they'll take a trade that, you know, is way outside of their position sizing and, you know, for no reason other than like they saw, you know, like. All right, but anyways, let's talk about Degen. On the 4-hour time frame, we did have a nice trending setup right here. We have BBWP basically crushed at this point in time. And oh, you know, the only thing, this is missing a signal line. There we go. That's okay. What am I? Hold on a second. What am I running though? I feel like that's right. Yeah, 14. Okay. All right, so that's all good. That's all fine. Pretty volatile bugger, I'm not gonna lie. All right. Doesn't help too that I can't really like make this bigger, but I have like for your guys' ease of DJ community coming. All right, so just analyzing like the local trend. Again, here we have this nice breakout of the 200 exponential moving average. That puts us back into a 4-hour bullish trend. So once that occurs, once we're trading above the 200 EMA, we only want to be taking long trades, right? Now, we have basically two strategies to capture trades that we use on a daily basis. And this is going to be initial signal, right? Or initial PTP signal. And that's when our trending indicator gives us a signal, or usually with a line cross or with a centered oscillator cross. The other way that we can enter into longs in a bullish trend is by buying pullbacks. And we can either use a combination of Minx, Isospot, or excuse me, Minx, time transformation, or bottom feeder to accomplish those entries. All right, to accomplish those entries. Now, so we have this nice cross. Let's just zoom in here and we can see all the trades that we could have taken. These are just 4-hour trades. You can apply this on the daily. You can apply this on the 1 hour. But here we have the candle that closes above the 4-hour 200 EMA. And on that very same candle, we can look at our indicators and see that TSI was above the signal line. Yes. RSI was above the signal line. Yes. Volatility was expanding. Yes. Life's good. And we were just coming out of a volatility crush. Yes. Life's good. So we can take this swing long. We go long, basically. We exit here. Very little profit, honestly. When do we get back in? Yeah, trading this on the 4 hours not doing very good because of all the swings. For this, you're really going to need something like just buy. You're going to need like the pullback buy strategy here on this asset. Pullback buy strategy has been pretty decent. All right, right now we don't have any signal. We're still above the EMA 200. So here on the 4-hour time frame, we would want to buy any bullish crossovers at this point in time. If TSI were to cross back over, and we are in pullback mode zone. All right. The only problem with the pullback now is that we want to buy pullbacks when we're making higher highs and higher lows, no problem, all day long. We don't necessarily want to be buying pullbacks when we're making lower lows and lower highs. All right. And that's what we're making right now. We can see that the 4-hour has shifted. We were previously making higher highs, higher lows. Now we are making lower lows and lower highs. Now we are still above that 4-hour 200 EMA, and that is really the determiner of what the trend is, of where we're going. So we don't want to be, you know, we don't want to be shorting or anything like that. Of course, we can't short Degen because it's a DeFi coin, but it's a Degen DeFi coin even. But at this point in time, what's really going to save our bacon and kind of set up the next trending situation is we got to watch BBWP. All right, so we want to watch for volatility to get crushed just like it did down here, and then trade in the expansion of the breakout. All right, or trade in the direction of the expansion. Right, so you see volatility start to expand. Remember, volatility is directionally neutral, so it doesn't tell you in what direction to trade. Your other indicators have to tell you that, but BBWP tells you when to trade. All right, and you need your other indicators to tell you in what direction to trade. So 4-hour trend is kind of dead right now. I'm not really seeing anything for Degen. You know, we are like consolidating at support, and we are above the 200, so that's totally fine. RSI hasn't really pulled back to the area where I would want to buy it like aggressively a pullback or anything on Degen. So, you know, it's just as far as trading here, at least on the 4-hour time frame, that's what I've got. Anything different on the daily? Again, we don't have a lot of data on the daily. On the daily, again, Degen had a beautiful run up, pulled back. We kind of see what we want here. Volatility does get very, very low in this consolidation area. And then on the daily time frame, we do now close above the 21 exponential moving average. RSI crosses above, and we do get that TSI cross way later. That the TSI cross happened kind of at the peak, and we're in the pullback now. But there is this is an active like daily swing long. All right, this is not bad. You know, again, because we don't have a lot of history to back test this on, we really don't have a good idea of how well this strategy will work, particularly on this asset. But again, this is a Swiss Army knife strategy. It works quite good on just about everything, so we don't need to worry about it too much. So the daily is good. You know, we don't have that immediate response, you know, kind of out of this range. And this does kind of look like we want to pull back. I mean, we are at resistance, all right? So let's not forget about that. But we've basically established a nice range. So what are the levels we need to be paying very close attention to? I mean, any daily closes above 31.47 are extremely bullish right now and are probably breakouts to be bought. I would be looking to accumulate closer. I would be looking to buy like on a pullback in between the 55 and the 21. So basically the 55 is coming in around 1388 and the 21's coming in around like 1828. So I'd be buying in that range between 1300 and 1800. And you know, I wouldn't be really buying anything, you know, any daily close below, you know, 813. I'd probably be kind of cutting my losses at that point in time, because that means this range hasn't been respected and we're violating the range to the downside. So, and since there's no incentive to grab liquidity or stop people out, no, if DeFi coins start dumping, it's not because they're just waiting to go back up. No, they're dumping because they're dumping. All right. So, 813 would be my hard line in the sand at this point in time. And I'd be looking for pullback buys either here would be very aggressive. Or a little bit lower. Like I said, in between that 1300 and 1800 would be quite good. And then monitoring very closely for breakouts of that like upper 3000 or, you know, low $3,000, like 3000, 3100. Be watching for those breakouts of these previous highs to generate some momentum. Don't watch looks. Looks watches you. Thank you. Thank you, Degen community. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and shout outs to everybody else in the Farcaster ecosystem. All right, back into the jig. We've got about 12 minutes left in the stream, guys. About 12 minutes left in the stream. Let's get into Aaron's requests. Aaron had wanted to take a look at Storage and Loom. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. Storage USDT. Let's see here. Okay, so looking at the last setup on, well, let's just see what's going on with Storage. I mean, I quite like Storage here, you know, to be quite honest with you. You know, we trade for a long time beneath the 200 exponential moving average here. We get a nice, beautiful breakout. We get a nice big run up that comes in 1, 2, 3 legs. We get a full pullback down. What is that? Is that a golden pocket? Oh my God, it's a golden pocket 618 retracement. It's just beautiful sometimes when it works. Okay. So let's say worst case scenario, we've just got an aftershock pump. The aftershock pump is the 382. So we've already hit like, okay, so that's a strategy, guys. Like after we have a big run like this and prices pull back very, you know, prices make a lower low. You know, again, obviously we pull back here to the 200 exponential moving average on the daily. So that's very telling, but this was also a 65%, 618% retracement. The next strategy is called an aftershock pump. So after that pullback, you expect prices to aftershock pump back up. but only to the 382. I'm pretty conservative with where I target there. But again, there are other guys who target the 6.5 and 7.86, but I think they have an extremely low win rate. So anyways, so now we just look at this like, okay, do we want to take this trade regardless of that, right? That was just some kind of support and resistance, dynamic trading, a little discretion. Okay, life's good. Again, price of the 200, we've wicked down, you know, we've got liquidity. Buyers are clearly here. Buyers are clearly stepping in right here. So that's good. You know, obviously a daily close below 60.80 and we want to be completely out of storage because we're entering into bearish territory. The only problem here is, I guess there's not much of a problem. TSI, we would have gotten, so we have volatility crush right here. And so we trade in the expansion once we get expansion. So we have volatility crush and then we get that expansion on this candle. All right, so we could go long here, but it doesn't really, it looks like we get punished for that because this wick almost certainly stops us out. And so now it's like, okay, well, do we re-enter? And the answer is not yet. You see RSI is still trading below the signal line. And, you know, obviously it sucks when we run into assets that are like good trades, but we have this like just volatility. But hey, like, you know, you go build a better strategy. I don't know. Like sometimes we get kicked out of trades, like it sucks, right? But, you know, a lot of the times we don't. We make money, so I don't know. Optimal is the enemy of good. We have a very good strategy. We make very good money. And if I stopped taking half of the trades because they could be a little bit more optimal, I wouldn't make any money. All right. So just remember that, guys. Optimal is often the enemy of good. All right. Felipe says, hey, cracking cryptocurrency. Would you like if I share your DGen insight videos on Farcaster, or would you like to do that yourself? Listen, man, I think you can just go right ahead. You know, all marketing is good marketing. And I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, you go right ahead, man. You know, again, my flippant, like, go ahead does not constitute any legally binding agreement or does not entitle you to any royalties related to the distribution of our content. But yeah, go ahead, man. You can share our stuff on Farcaster. Oh my God, dude. TradingView, I know that you have cookies. Stop telling me, for the love of God. I do like storage here, right? Again, you know, the way my flavor of trading, you know, I would be already beat out. I don't really like this, like, you know, whipsaw volatility. It's kind of crappy. Yeah, I don't like this whipsaw volatility, but TSI has not crossed underneath the signal line. Has not. Like, skating. RSI, of course, did cross underneath the signal line. So the only thing I would be waiting on at this point in time, we do have this nice vol crush. And I'm just basically ignoring this because of this whipsaw. I think we could still trade at the long side here. I just want to see RSI cross and close above the signal line at this point in time. So if you want to enter now and be a little bit more aggressive, I think that's probably fine. But I would wait. I would wait a day. I would wait for the signal to come in. Loom. Wow. Two charts that look almost identical. Loom and storage. My dear Lord. What is happening here? Okay, yeah. So, you know, let's take the indicators off and let's just see if this worked out the exact same way. It's an 886 retracement. All right. So not, yeah. And then did we get that 382 aftershock bump? This would be my price target on Loom right now. Really? Is this really what Loom's done? That's insane. I mean, guys, listen, like, this is not PTP. This is more positional trading strategies. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm not, listen, not financial advice. Go find your own trades, for the love of God. I'm just a dude on the internet. But I mean, these are the charts that you really kind of want to look for. I mean, again, there's no probability, there's no like probability, there's no guarantee of success. But these are the setups that you kind of look for, right? You zoom out and you see that price is trading in a very tight range for a long time. That volatility is building up. We're in a bull market. That volatility wants to go somewhere. And when prices break out, they'll break out. And I actually think that based on that, my profit target is actually probably conservative. But again, this also falls very nicely into the dynamics of aftershock pump. We had a nice 886 retracement down here. That's a very common retracement, like big long-term retracement. This consolidation has gone on for 143 days. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I really like Loom here. Yeah. I don't think I can trade Loom though in the copy trade account, can I? No, unfortunately I cannot. So, okay, so Loom is a chart, like the way I'm seeing it. Yeah, this one I would just buy and hold. Jesus Christ, come on. So yeah, this one's actually going into the positional trade. That's going to be our purple P for positional. Let's just go mark that out. And basically like, yeah, basically like entry right here is fine, I think. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really like Loom here. Yeah, that looks good to me. These are the kind of charts that are kind of hard to find. Like, they're easy to find when everything looks like this, right? Everything looks like this, but now everything doesn't look like this. Most things do not look like this. So Loom is lagging behind. I mean, there are other considerations here. So like, oh, if Loom is lagging behind, like what's the reason for that, right? Well, because Loom like already had a pop off, right? The market needed to reset. It ran up like 1,500%. So to think that it can't, I like Loom. Can anybody tell me why I should not be buying Loom? Are there any dissenters? Are there any dissenters in the chat? Is there something I don't know? Buy looks. Alex, I see you, my brother. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna have time to look at 2 more charts. I've got to bounce. Looks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I feel like I have something against looks, though. Do I have something against looks? Can't remember. Oh, I see you. I see what you did there, man. I see what you did there, Cryptomeister. I see it. I don't appreciate it, man. I don't appreciate that at all. This guy's a wise guy, huh? Okay. Yeah. Volatility crush and then expansion. I actually have. Hold on, I don't have the EMAs on. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, we were underneath the EMAs. The 14th, but yeah, I mean, with volatility that high, right? Do we take the trade? I mean, we are coming out of crush. Being underneath the 200, so we are kind of expecting bigger movements. And again, just more pure TA stuff. I mean, holding the 200 exponential very nicely here. Now we do have that nice moving average crossover as well, and we are we're confirmed back testing resistance as support. So this looks really good. I mean, we could wait for a breakout at this point in time for a little bit more confirmation, but I think we could also just, yeah, I think I'm gonna buy Loom. Yep. Yeah. All right. I will not have time to post. I got to go to parent teacher conferences right now. But when I get back this evening, I'll purchase some Loom and I'll post the signal. So great. Yeah. It wouldn't you? Hey, wouldn't you guys like to be the content creator trader? I've got to go do stuff, and I can't actually buy this until I come back later tonight. So that means that all of you guys get to front run me on this trade. Awesome. Nah, that's cool. I hope you guys make good money. All right, guys, listen, I'm sorry I got to bounce. Thank you for coming to the slightly adjusted time for our daily live streams. We have been streaming for the last 6 weeks in the morning, but I really want to transition to streaming in the afternoon. It really frees up my mornings and lets me get more productive work done. So this morning I got to get a lot of work done on one of my new bots that I'm working on, creating for the premium members, as well as working on automating my newer strategy that I've been operating with over on Fairdesk. So I really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for joining. If you want to support what we're doing, please hit the like button. It helps other people see our content that otherwise would not. And it's the only way the YouTube algorithm really notices us. And it's free to do. So please support us by hitting the like button. If you would like to support us further and actually contribute to us making this free content every single day, please become a channel member by becoming a sponsor of the show. Over the next few weeks, I will be adding some great features for all of our channel members, such as access to a few signal channels, and alpha inside of our Discord. So you'll be able to connect your YouTube with your Discord and get those benefits linked up and synced up in our Discord. If you'd like to work personally with me and my team in 2024 to build your own strategy and start building wealth into cryptocurrency markets, as well as learning how to protect yourself through, just risk management and portfolio management, check out everything that we do at crackingcryptocurrency.com. And the link to copy trade me over on Fairdesk is down in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Trade safely. Cheers now.